Oh, it's a nice friendly greeting.
Oh, is that unusual?
No.
Okay, good.
I mean, like, you know, it's just friendlier than I'm accustomed to with Uber drivers.
Gotcha. Maybe you've just been meeting a lot more of the shy ones.
Absolutely, it could be that could be the case.
Well, I'm happy to make your acquaintance, man.
Likewise.
This is not your first venture out, I'm guessing.
Oh no.
Your day's already in progress.
Almost over, in fact.
Almost over, you say?
Yeah.
Where are you working today?
I was working.
Okay. What is it you do for work?
I'm a chef.
Oh, no. Whoa, so you're finishing your shift and you still have a good portion of the day left.
I know, right?
That's amazing. Is this unusual or regular?
No, this is pretty regular.
It is, okay.
I've sort of positioned myself to work more mornings.
Nicely done.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was sort of like I was sort of given an option, but
yeah,
you know, it's
mornings or nights, right?
Yeah, basically.
Here's the catch-22 that I found in my experience, and that is, I like my nights. I like my nights to be free.
Yeah.
So if I wake up early in the morning, then I can pretty much guarantee I have evenings, right?
Yeah.
But then to enjoy my evening, though,
60 kilometers per
I can't
hour.
stay out late, which is why I wanted to have my nights in the first place, because I have to like get to bed on time to do the whole process again, and so I find myself stuck there. You see the struggle, right?
I do, yeah. I find for me it's nice to work the mornings because it's easier to get into a routine.
Okay.
And also, I mean, at least that way, like, you know, I do have to work
Speed and red light camera in 100 meters.
It does mean
Speed
that,
limit
like,
is
for
60 kilometers per hour.
not so much since COVID, but like my girlfriend, she works a regular, well, has a more regular sort of schedule than I do.
Sure enough.
But like, so she's usually like the evenings are the time where she's most free.
I see. So it's nice to synchronize those two
I've
schedules.
even gotten myself into a position now where I've got Fridays and Saturdays off.
Oh my goodness.
Right.
As a chef or as a cook.
Yeah.
That is brilliant.
Yeah.
That is
I really wanted Sundays and Mondays.
Yeah.
But Fridays and Saturdays actually work a lot better with my girlfriend's schedule. So.
Yeah. And what was the thinking behind Sundays and Mondays?
What's that?
What was the thinking behind Sunday, Monday?
Oh, as far as I'm concerned, that's just the best. That's sort of the best schedule, because then, like, you know, Sundays are always kind of weird days in the restaurant because you kind of have like that brunch crowd.
Yeah.
And then Mondays are always a shit show because the weekends are busy.
Oh, I
And so
see.
Mondays you get like all of your orders, and there's usually a big prep day.
Yeah, I see.
So.
Yeah. Now, given that you work like these ideal hours for one in the kitchen,
Yeah.
do you still find it as stressful as they would at nighttime in the heat of the busyness?
Yes and no.
Okay.
It's kind of a mixed bag, right? Like, because nighttime is more stressful because you don't necessarily know when it's going to slow down. And if you don't know when it's going to slow down, you don't know when you can start closing. If you don't know when you can't start, or when you can start closing, you don't know when you're going to be done work.
Right.
So, but in the mornings, it's sort of like come in, set up the kitchen, prep, cook for a while, and then go home.
Yeah.
Basically, once everything's sort of restocked and ready to go for the evening.
That makes sense.
So it's, I would say it's a little bit less stressful on like my social life.
Yeah.
To work the mornings, but as far as like, I find sometimes it's more stressful because I do know that I have an end time, which means I've got to stay like laser focused all day.
Right.
Or I won't get everything done.
I see.
So we actually had, today was a weird one.
Okay.
Normally Tuesdays are like fairly tame, like they're not super busy, and we don't have any orders that come in today, and it's not really a big prep day. However, we are rolling out a new menu on April the 1st.
Okay.
So we had to do a tasting this morning at 9 o'clock.
Okay.
And around 7 this morning, the oven caught fire.
The oven caught fire. Okay.
And not like a little bit.
Yeah.
Like
full on.
It was on fire so bad.
Yeah.
That the server that opened this morning called the fire department. I hadn't gotten there at that point. I didn't start until 8 this morning, but I arrived and they were like, yeah, there was a fire, and I was like, okay, thinking like, there was like a little bit of a grease fire on the stovetop or something, like no big deal. No, the fire was so bad that it like destroyed the thermostat that controls that monitors the temperature of the oven and decides whether it needs to be on or off.
Yeah.
And the guy that came in to fix it this afternoon was saying that in order for that to happen, it would have had to be the fire would have had to have been burning in excess of 1200 degrees Fahrenheit. It was so hot that some parts of the thermostat and the valve were they had basically been welded together because they had heated up so much.
That's intense.
It's like okay.
I'm trying to understand.
Completely warped the inside of the oven. And he said he's like, if they had opened the oven door, whoever it was that had opened it would have been in the hospital, and it would have set off our fire suppression system, which is like a $10,000 refill, and I mean, it would have been an explosion.
That's nuts. Okay. It could have been worse.
It could have been a lot worse.
So I'm trying to understand how an oven catches fire without something that was burning inside.
So therein lies sort of the issue.
Okay.
We braise our brisket overnight in the oven.
Okay.
And in order to do that, it's got to be submerged in the braising liquid.
Okay.
And in order to do that, the inserts that we braise them in have to be quite full.
Okay.
And so all of the fat renders off of the brisket and floats up to the top. So this morning, the girl that took them out of the oven spilled some of the grease that was in the top.
Okay.
And there's always a little bit that spills.
Yeah.
But from what I saw inside the oven this afternoon, she spilled a lot. And so it had gotten down into the bottom of the oven where the burner is.
Yeah.
And it all pooled down there, and then it heated up because after she spilled it, either she didn't wipe it or didn't realize what had happened.
Yeah.
And so then she cranked the oven up trying to just burn it off.
Yeah. Oh.
Because when we get a little bit of a spill in the oven, it just you turn it up a little bit and it'll slowly burn off. But what she did was she turned it up to 450 degrees, and at this elevation, grease and oil will ignite at between 410 and 425 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay.
So all of that grease that had spilled down into the bottom of the oven caught fire, and it went from the one girl was saying that the flames were sort of coming up in the not out of the front of the oven, although they must have been at some point because the whole front of the oven was black, and then the backsplash was all black.
Yeah.
And she said it went from being just seeing flames, a little bit of flames licking up out of the back, to being coming way up and burning out of the way out of the top of the oven. In 30 seconds. And it was really smoky inside the restaurant, and so she just she was nope. She ran outside and called the fire department.
Shoot.
And she was really she wasn't worried about the fire as much as she was worried about that she thought we were going to get charged by the fire department for a false alarm. Because by the time they showed up, the fire had gone out. Which honestly, I can't believe that it did. That was so lucky. It must have just run out of oxygen to burn. Because
that was significant.
Well, it was. I mean, there was a lot of grease and it was really hot. So
it was that kind of day at work today.
That was and then we still did the tasting at 9 o'clock.
Seriously? Oh man. Did you just have another oven that you're able to utilize, or?
No, we just did, thankfully we didn't really need the oven for much of what we were rolling out.
Okay.
So it was just I think we had to heat up some waffles on the panini press.
So for sure that the presentation is up to par so that everyone has an idea of what it's going to be like? Or
Yeah, so
okay.
it's like, I mean, I don't have the final say on everything, but certainly the feature for this month for March
Yeah.
was my feature. And
Okay.
that I had pretty much the final say on.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
It's like creative license.
Yeah, which was really cool. I sort of had it at my last job in the beginning, but they just sort of kept changing things and becoming more and more strict. And I think it was just because, somebody somewhere had decided that they were going to do like just something ridiculously expensive, like seared foie gras with white truffles or something.
I see.
And so that slowly got taken away. And here it's sort of like, you want to do something interesting or something totally out of left field with a really weird ingredient? Absolutely, let's do it.
Nice.
So I did. Are you familiar with like steamed buns? Like steamed pork buns?
No.
Okay. Well, it's something that my nanny used to feed me when I was a little kid, and it's a Chinese sort of dim sum
Yeah.
type thing. And
Yeah.
it's just like it's basically just a bun, but
Yeah.
steamed instead of baked.
Yeah.
And it's filled with like barbecue pork.
Okay. Now I got the picture now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, anyways, so she used to feed me those when I was really little, and then I wanted to do something with duck, and then I also
Which I've heard is really hard to cook.
it is, yeah, and to get it to turn out right,
Right.
it's kind of finicky. So,
Okay.
and I really also love Vietnamese